Hi guys, you're welcome back to Picama Stitches. Today I'm going to be showing us how to make this beautiful off-shoulder dress with circular off-shoulder sleeve, basque waistline and gathered steps as well. So if this tutorial is what you're interested in, I'd like for you to watch to the end because it's very educative and interesting. So let's get right into the tutorial. So guys, I'm going to be making use of this beautiful chantilly lace you see here. I have my shiny poly fabric. It's very stretchy on one side and then one part is not that stretchy. Now this is the chantilly lace I'm going to be using. I'm not going to be lining this, okay, because I didn't want it to be too bulky. So let's get right into drafting. So I'm going to be starting with the upper part. Now when folding the bodice, fold along the part that has the stretch. Then the length part should be the part that doesn't have any stretch. So the stretch is better on the width of your body than on the length. I hope this is clear. So I've gone ahead to mark my starting line. Since it's an off shoulder, I'm going to be offing my shoulder by 6 inches. And from that point, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to bust area, which is 11.5 inches for me. So you can decide to off yours by 5 inch, but make sure it rests on your ½ inch mark. Now after that mark, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to under bust area, and after my under bust area, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to my waist point. Now after marking shoulder to waist, remember it's a basque waist. So for my basque waist, from my waist area, I'm going to be marking down 5 to 6 inches. It's just fine. It shouldn't be below 6 inches, okay? So I'm going ahead to mark 6 inches from my waist point. That's for my basque effect. So those are the lines that we have at this point. I hope this is clear enough. So I have my off shoulder to bust, off shoulder to under bust, off shoulder to waist, and off shoulder to the basque area where we're going to be having the V effect. Okay, I hope that is clear. So I'll repeat it again. This is my bust. The under bust is not really necessary, but I just marked it. So after getting all those lines, to get our chest line, still subtract your 6 inches or 5 inches and mark your shoulder to chest line, which is your round bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So for me, I had roughly 9 inches, so that becomes my chest line. Now at the bust area, since this fabric is really stretchy, can you see the stretchy effect we have on the body area? I'm going to be marking my round bust measurement minus ½ inch. I'm not adding any allowance to this, okay? You can decide to take out 1 inch or ½ inch. Now at the waist area, I'm doing the same thing. My round waist measurement divided by 4 minus ½ inch or 1 inch without any sewing allowance. Why? Because this fabric is really stretchy. Okay, but if you're not working with a stretchy fabric, kindly mark your normal measurement and add your allowance to it. Okay, now my under bust and my waist is the same measurement, so I'm going ahead to mark the exact same thing. Now for the basque effect, I don't want it to start right from my waist area, so from my waist I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. If you want your basque effect to start right from your waist point, is fine, but to have that beautiful fit, you need to come down at least 1.5, maximum 2 inches. So I'm going to connect to that 6 inch we came down by in a V form. You can make yours curved just the way you see me do. You connect it to that point. Can you see what we have? So I'll explain this again. I marked my round body measurement divided by 4 minus ½ inch, okay, without any sewing allowance. And at the waist area, I came down by 1.5 and I connected to that our V, the 6 inches we came down by, to get our basque effect, and then I connected back to the bodice. I hope this is clear enough. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead now and work on our chest area. Now at this point, I'm going to be marking the width I want on my neck, having in mind that this fabric is stretchy. Okay, so I'm going to be marking 6.5 inches plus half of an inch to attach our sleeve, meaning I'm actually marking 6 inches. Half of an inch is for joining. Now after marking your neck width, go ahead and connect to your chest line in a curved manner to create your armhole. Okay, now to get the neck depth, you're still going to subtract your 6 inches. After taking out your 6 inches, you will come down by 2 inches. You know you're doing 8 inches neck depth. Okay, so I came down by 1.5 inch after subtracting my 6 inches for off the shoulder, and I'll connect it in a sweetheart manner. Can you see what we have? Like a V effect. Okay, creating a sweetheart neckline. I'm connecting it back to my armhole area, and then I'll go ahead to cut this out. This is my front neck depth, the armhole, and the sides are ready. I'm going ahead to cut this out. Okay, this is very simple. So you can also use your round shoulder measurement, subtract the neck depth for the front and the back, so that when calculating your shoulder area, it will be easy for you to get that. I really hope this is clear. If anything is not clear to you, just let me know in the comment section. So go ahead and cut out. We're done with the front. We'll go ahead now to fold to cut out our back piece. So for the back piece, I'm going ahead to lay the front piece over the back just the way you see me do, keeping some allowance for our zipper, because we're going to be attaching a zipper to this dress. So if you don't want to attach a zipper, it's fine, but I had to leave that allowance, okay, for our zipper. And also, if you want to have a basque effect at the back, that means you're going to be doing the same thing at the back, or you can make the back V shape to go higher a bit. Okay, now after placing this, you're going to mark out this straight line from where your armhole curved. Can you see where I'm marking? We're marking that part straight, and also marking your waist, your actual waist area, straighten it back into the zipper area. We're going to be eliminating zipper bulge. And then remember, we came down by 1.5 at this point. You're also going to be marking that point at the center back. So note the key lines we're marking: the top part of the top, okay, and then the waistline, we're extending it into the zipper area, and also the 1.5 inch mark that we came down by, we're extending those 3 lines into the zipper area. I'm going to show you why we're doing this much later. So can you see the line we're extending? Your chest line, just take it straight, okay, into the zipper area. Your actual waistline, extend it, and then the 1.5 inch, extend it. If you want to have a basque effect, you can go ahead and create it too at the back, but I won't need a basque effect at the back, so I'm taking only the actual waist measurement. So I'll go ahead and cut out this point. Can you see where I'm cutting? I'm cutting the back straight. Now if you want your back neckline to be straight, you cut it straight just this way is fine, but I'm going to be making some alterations much later. The armhole is the exact same thing, and the sides, we're going ahead to cut out the same thing on the sides. Please kindly ignore the noise, sorry. And then we're stopping right at the 1.5 inch mark we came down by. Can you see what we have here? So go ahead and draw out your center line where the center front stops. Can you see? I'm just creating a straight line so we'll know where to create our zipper allowance line from. So just go ahead and create a straight line just the way you see me do, because we're going to be marking our zipper allowance line from that line that we just created. So can you see what we have here? Now at this top part at the back, okay, can you see, I'm going to be marking 1 inch for my zipper allowance at the top part here, okay, 1 inch, and at the lower part here from that line I'm going to be marking half of an inch, okay, for us to eliminate our zipper bulge, and then I'll connect it in a slanted manner back to the 1 inch at the top. Can you see what we have here? So after doing that, I'll go ahead and cut this out, and we've just created our zipper allowance line. Remember, our marking stops at that 1.5 we came down from the waist line, because the both sides of both front and back has to match up when sewing. Okay, so after doing this, I'm going to make some alterations at the back. Now you can decide to leave the back neck depth straight this way, but I came down by 2 inches. Okay, I want the back neck depth to come down a little bit more, but you can decide to leave yours straight. It's actually fine, it will still come out beautiful. Now some persons make it even deeper, as long as deep as 6-8 inches, but I only came down by 2 inches, and I'm going to connect it in a curved manner as well, connecting it back to that our armhole line, and then I'll go ahead to cut this out just the way you see me do. Now make sure you notch your zipper area. Okay, I'm gonna head to make that notch. So this is what we have for the back. I've taken out my front piece, so I'm going to connect that waist area in a straight line, because we're not done eliminating zipper bulge. Now sorry I made this dress in a rush because I needed to rock it somewhere, but this dress, trust me, it came out so beautiful on me. Okay, now at the hem point, I'm going to go up by 1 inch, and I'll connect it this way. Okay, just to eliminate zipper bulge at the back area. Remember, this fabric is really stretchy, so you need to put all these things in place to avoid zipper bulging, but ensure the sides remains the same so it matches with the front. Okay, I've gone ahead to notch as well my zipper area, and make sure you work with your pins when you're working with really stretchy fabrics like this. Okay, can you see the body, the width area is really stretchy. So we're done with drafting both front and back piece for the top part. So can you see what we have here? So beautiful. If you want to line this, you can go ahead and line it, but I didn't want it to be too weighty when I add all the ruffles and all, so I'll cut out the main fabric and turn it. Okay, so I've gone ahead to turn this with my chantilly lace. Okay, I just stitched up the neckline and the sides and flipped everything through the armhole to the right side. So can you see what we have? I've used my hemming gum to laminate my chantilly. You won't even see it reflect. So if you don't know how to laminate your lace fabric, okay, your net fabric, just let me know in the comments if you want a video on that. So I've laminated this, I've sewn up the neckline, the zipper area neatly, and I've turned this out. Can you see what we have? So you're going to go ahead and place these right sides facing each other, making sure the sides are aligned. So can you see what I mean here? And then you're going to go ahead to shaping the sides before we go ahead to work on the lower part. So this is what we have. You go ahead and shape with 1/2 of an inch or 1 inch, okay, but I advise you use 1/2 of an inch. So we're done with the top part. Let's work on the lower part. For the skirt part, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into two, just the same way we folded the front on the stretchy part being the width. And there are two ways you can do this. You can go ahead and subtract the upper part and mark the lower part to get the length of your dress. Okay, but I'm not going to be using this method. From the 1/2 inch I left at the top part, I'm just going to be marking my waist to hip. That marking serves as my waistline, my waist to hip point, which is 10 inches, and I'll go ahead to draw out that line. Now the full length of this skirt is going to be 63 inches. The actual length of this lining is going to be 60. The ruffles we're going to be creating will extend beyond the length to cover up the length. I hope this is clear. Okay, I've also gone ahead to mark my waist to knee and to the full hem of this skirt. So at this top part, I'm marking my waist measurement divided by 4 minus 1/2 of an inch like we did for the top part. At the hip area, I'm marking my hip divided by 4 minus ½ inch without sewing allowance. Okay, and I'm going ahead to connect this to the waist area. Now whatever I have at the hip area, I'm taking the same thing to the knee area, and I'm marking it over and over in order to get a straight line. So I hope this is clear. Just like working with a mesh fabric, when you're working with extremely stretchy fabric, it's advisable to take out minimum ½ inch, okay, or 1 inch out of your measurement, okay, so it fits on you even with the fact that it's a really stretchy fabric. So what I have at my knee area, I'm going to take the same thing straight down to the hem of the dress. Okay, I'm marking the same thing. So the measurement, I hope, is clear. The length of this dress without the ruffles is 60 inches. Now the ruffles will extend and give me my actual length that I need, which is 63 inches. I hope this is clear. So I'll go ahead and cut this out, and we're done with drafting the front part of our skirts. So after cutting out the front, this is what we have. Can you see what we have? We'll go ahead and fold our fabric in order to cut out the back. Okay, still the same way. Can you see this stretchy part is the width area, and the part that is not so stretchy is the length. Always bear that in mind. Okay, so I'll fold this in two. Can you see? And I've brought in my front piece. I've also left zipper area. Now at the hip area at the back, I'm going to mark 1 inch inwards. Can you see what I have? To create our butt contour effect. At the top part, I'm marking ½ inch like I did for the upper area, and I'm connecting my 1 inch back to that ½ inch allowance. Okay, now at the knee area, I have to mark ½ inch as well. At the knee area, I'm marking ½ inch, and I'm going to connect this ½ inch back to the 1 inch at the hip, and from that 1 inch, I'm connecting back to the ½ inch at the waist area. Can you see what I have? Now in the last tutorial I just uploaded on this channel on the belt up collar neckline, and the pencil skirts, I took my time to explain how to create this kind of skirt that automatically has its slits. So if this is too fast for you to understand, kindly take your time to watch the skirt tutorial on the last uploaded tutorial, and you will understand what we just did here. Now from the knee area, you're going to determine the opening you want for your slit, and from that part you're going to go inwards into the front skirt part by 1/4 or ½ inch in order to create your slit. Like I said, if it's not clear, just watch the last tutorial and you will understand what we just did here. So after doing that, we're just going to go ahead and cut this out. Now the sides remain the same. The only alteration is at the back area. Now let me explain this again. Now at the top part of the back area, okay, in order to eliminate zipper bulge at the waist and also to contour our butt, I came inwards by ½ inch. I marked ½ inch at the waist area, 1 inch at the hip area, and at the knee area I marked ½ inch and connected this to get that butt effect. Now after doing that, you're going to go inwards instead of connecting the ½ inch straight down. Since we're not creating a slit literally, okay, you're going to mark inwards into your front pattern by 1/4 inch in order to create a slit on its own. Please, if this is not clear, just ask me in the comment section, okay, or better still, watch the last uploaded tutorial. It's the same method that I'm using here. It will be much more clearer to you, okay. And please, if you've watched this tutorial up to this point and you've not liked this video or subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? You're actually missing a whole lot, okay? So I'd like you to click that subscribe button. It's free, and also click on the like button, okay? And then we're done with cutting our skirt part. Can you see what we have? Can you see the effect we're having here? Now there is no way you make this skirt you won't have a beautiful effect. So I'll go ahead to notch my zipper allowance area so I don't get confused. Okay, make sure you notch your zipper area. Now when you're done, go ahead and separate the front from the back, and then we're going to go ahead and shape this out. So I'll open up my front piece like this, and then I'm going to be placing this right sides facing each other. Can you see the stretch on the width part of the body? So take note of the way you fold your stretchy fabrics. Okay, now you're going to be placing this right sides facing each other. Because of the shape, I myself even made a mistake, so make sure you make that notch. It will really help you not to make mistakes, okay, when placing this. So the notch part lets you know where your zipper allowance area is. Okay, so I've gone ahead to place this right sides facing each other. I'll shape the sides with 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I'll leave an opening at the top here, minimum 1.5 inches. So can you see what we have? I've gone ahead to shape the sides. Can you see? I've shaped perfectly. If you can see through, you can see that the slit on the skirt area has automatically been created by itself. So if you want to know how to make this, kindly watch that video, or if this is understandable to you, it's also perfect. So I left 1.5 at the top part. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now to create that basque effect that we have at the top area. We want to replicate it at the lower part. So go ahead and make sure everything is well aligned. Align the sides, ensure the zipper area is matching, the side seams are matching. We want to get the midpoint of the skirt part. So I've gotten the midpoint, I've gone ahead to notch it. I'm going to also align the side seams. That was why we left that sewing allowance. So I'm picking the both side seams together. Make sure you work with your pins, guys. So I'm going ahead to pin my sewing allowance together, and then I'll pin my center front in order to make sure everything is lying flat, perfectly and in place. So can you see what I have? I'm going ahead to align this, then I'll bring in my top part. So can you see what we have? Now when you bring in the top part, make sure you also get the center and also align everything perfectly. This is very important. Make sure the side seams are matching and you don't take in this V part to be too deep, just slightly, okay? And ensure the side seams align perfectly. Can you see what I have here? Everything has to match perfectly. So I'll bring in my chalk and trace what I have. If you notice, I didn't mark all the way to the hem of the sides. Can you see? I left a little bit of space there. Then go ahead and add 1/2 inch for sewing allowance. Remember, we're marking directly on fabric, so you do not have excess, okay? To have a perfect and matching fit, you need to add this 1/2 inch. Now watch how I'm cutting this. I'm not cutting through to the edge of the side. I hope that makes sense. To the exact side seam allowance, that's what I mean. And after doing that, I'll go ahead to notch the midpoints as well, and then I'll take out my pins. And when you open this up, can you see what we have? We've gone ahead to create our basque effects. Now when you do it this way, by the time you place the center the top part to the side, everything will just match. Can you see what I have here? Can you see what we have? Everything matches perfectly. There won't be excess, there won't be gaping. And this is a stretchy fabric, so you need to be very, very careful when you're doing this. Okay, so this is what we have for our basque effect. You need to create the basque effect before we go ahead to mark for our ruffles. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our markings for our ruffles. Now before you start making your ruffles, you're going to make sure you take out 1/2 inch at the top part. I've gone ahead to make some markings, but let me explain this to us. You're going to be marking 1/2 inch at the top part here. This 1/2 inch is your sewing allowance that you're going to be attaching this lower part to the upper part with, okay? So you're going to take out that 1/2 inch. Now from that 1/2 inch point, you're going to mark to the hem of your skirt, and whatever measurement you have, divide it by the number of ruffles you want to create on your skirt. I hope this is clear. So I had 8 ruffles from the top here, from this 1/2 inch. Okay, so after doing that, I had 5 inch. The spacing I'm going to be having is 5 inch spacing. After creating those spacing, it means I'm going to be creating 8 ruffles. From this 1/2 inch, I'll explain this again. From the 1/2 inch at the top, measure to the hem of your skirt. Divide what you have by the number of ruffles you want to create. It will automatically give you the number of steps that you need for your ruffles. I hope this is clear. So I had 5 inch. So I'm going ahead to mark this 5 inch all the way to the hem, to wherever it stops. Now this will guide you to cut your ruffles, meaning you're going to be adding minimum 2 inches to the spacing you have, because your ruffles need to overlap on each other so it doesn't show. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 8. Now at the lower part, whatever I have, the 7 inches will extend and cover the full length of the step. Now whatever I'm doing on this side, I'm marking it on this part and on the center part as well. You need to create a straight line, and then you're going to be timesing your hip measurement, which is a bigger measurement of your lower part. Times it by 2.5 or 3 inches to know the length of the ruffles to cut out. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut mine out. I have 1, and the length is 7 inches. Okay, for each ruffle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 ruffles. And these ruffles, the length is 7 inches, the width is times 3 of my hip measurement. So you do your round hip, like me is 45 times 3. If you don't have enough fabric, you can do 45 times 2.5. okay, and that will give you the width, and the length is 7 inches because it has to overlap. Remember, I marked 5 inch. I really hope this is clear. So from the inner part, you're going to sew straight by 1 inch on both sides, and then you start making your ruffles. We're going to be making our ruffles from the lower part. After the first one, we'll do the second one. After the second line, the third line. Now when you get to the top part, leave that 1/2 inch mark. We're not going to be attaching that ruffle. After adding our basque waist, I'll show us how to attach that ruffle. So let me quickly attach this and show us what we have. So can you see? Oh my god. Now if this is not clear, I've also made a tutorial on a layered skirt on this channel. You can also watch that out, but I hope this is explainable. So can you see how I placed this? I stitched it, and when you flip it over, the ruffles overlap. Can you see how the ruffles overlap without any spacing? So the spacing on the fabric is 5 inches, but the ruffles we cut out is 7 inches. So can you see the ruffles that is left? We've not attached the top one yet. I'll show us how to attach that. So this is the fullness that we have. Can you see? This is so beautiful. Now give this video a thumbs up if you haven't, okay, and subscribe. So I'll go ahead and bring in the top part. Can you see what we have? I'm going to be placing this right sides facing each other. Ensure the center part is matching. You're going to join it all the way to the sides, to the back as well, and do the same thing to this other side. So I've gone ahead to attach the top part. Can you see what we have? The side seams must align. They must match up. And this is the V area neatly attached. Make sure you notch that V part so it relaxes. So I'm going to bring in the last ruffle that I have. You're going to bring the right side, and then you're going to place it this way, right sides facing each other. and you're going to stitch straight with 1 inch on the sides before you start creating your pleat. Follow the V effect all the way to the side where you see my finger and make your gathers. Now the gathers method I use is method 3. That's the first tutorial on this channel. In case you want to know how I did this, or any method you want to use is absolutely fine. So after attaching this, can you see what we have? This is so beautiful. Please kindly give this video a thumbs up. See the V effect. See the way it overlaps without any form of spacing. Can you see what we have? Now at this V point, if you think it's too overlappy for you, I don't know if that English is correct, you can go ahead and trim it at the V part some more, but this is perfect for me. So ensure the center part, your waist area, matches perfectly. Now, and if you want to line this, I'll advise you use a lycra fabric or the same stretchy poly fabric, okay, so you don't lose that stretchy effect. So I'm going to show us 2 different methods on how to close up the center back neatly, okay, like I showed us in the last tiered dress tutorial. You can go ahead and sew this straight down on both sides, then put them together at the center back, ensuring that each layer matches perfectly. You put them together and stitch down. This is another method, and this is the best method for me, okay? Or another method you can use to align the laces together just the way you see me do, and stitch each step down before you close it up, okay? But let me show you guys the method I use. I can start from the lower part or from the top part, okay? So go ahead and lay your fabric down. Can you see the chantilly is covering the lower part? That's what I explained. You stitch this on each, stitch this, whatever you do on this side, repeat same at the other part, okay? Stitch it down. After stitching it straight down, you put the both center backs together and close it up. Then I'll hem the lower part by the slit allowance I left in order to create my slit. I hope this is clear. Please, if you have anything that's not clear to you, let me know in the comment section. And after doing that, can you see what we have? Can you see the back? Can you see the center back? It looks very neat. Now this dress can actually pass for an off shoulder without a sleeve, okay? The only thing is for you to have tightened the chest area a little bit. So we'll go ahead and work on the sleeve. Now I was rushing to rock this dress. I didn't do a detailed tutorial on this circular sleeve. So if it's not clear to you, just type in the comment section sleeve tutorial. I'll make another detailed tutorial on the sleeve for us, okay? So for the sleeve, I folded my fabric like as though you want to cut out a circular flare, okay? So after folding it this way, you're going to be measuring your off the shoulder. You measure around your off shoulder, subtract the neck depth for the front and back, and what you have left is for your shoulder area. Then whatever you have there, divide it by 6.28 to get your radius, okay? Now after getting your radius, go ahead and mark the length that you want for your sleeve. Now I'm using this poly because I'm going to be turning the sleeve with lining like you saw at the thumbnail. So I'm marking my 10-inch round from this radius point. You're just marking this the same way you're marking a flare. Now when you're done with this, it will give you the radius for both sleeves, and you're going to separate it into 2. Please, if this is not clear like I said earlier, let me know in the comment section. Just type circular sleeve tutorial, okay, if you're interested in seeing how I made that off shoulder, and I'll put out a more detailed tutorial. So I'm going ahead to mark. This is all the fabric I have left out of the 5 yards of chantilly fabric. So I'm marking to see that it matches. It's going to give me the exact same length. So after confirming that, go ahead and just cut out. So if you've watched this tutorial to this point, and you've not subscribed to this channel, you've not liked this video, it's not fair, oh. So please guys, just go ahead and like and go ahead and subscribe. So can you see what I have? This is for the both sleeves. I hope this is clear. So I'm going to be placing this on my chantilly to cut out the exact same thing. So make sure everything is well aligned, everything is sitting in place, and then I'll go ahead to cut out the radius, the exact same thing, and then I'll go ahead to cut out the hem part the same way as well. Please, if there's any part of this tutorial that you feel I'm too fast or it's not clear to you, just let me know in the comment section. Please, if there's any tutorial you also like me to post on, okay, to make a detailed tutorial on that is not clear to you, also let me know in the comments section. Okay, I'll be right there to answer your questions. So after cutting out the exact same thing, this is what we have. Now to create that armhole effect, at this top part, you're going to be leaving out 1/2 inch because we're going to be turning the top part and the lower part with the poly. The poly will serve as the lining for the chantilly. You're going to bring in your sleeve opening this way and leave 1/2 inch from the top area, and then you're going to be tracing out your armhole. Remember, there's a 1 inch sewing allowance inside. I hope this is clear. So go ahead and cut that out. Now while marking out the radius, I added allowance to that. Okay, now this part is going to be what will go around your shoulder. Okay, like I said earlier, kindly let me know in the comment section if you want a detailed tutorial on an off-shoulder circular sleeve, and I'll put that tutorial up there for you guys. Okay, so after doing that, this folded part, you're going to go ahead and slit it open because we're going to be having 2 separate sleeves. Can you see what I have? So the radius you marked out includes both the sewing allowance and your round sleeve. Okay, your round of the shoulder sleeve. So guys, after working on the sleeve, I went ahead to attach my zipper and I had to rock this dress out urgently. You know, we fashion designers with urgent work, but I had to make a tutorial for us from this dress. I had so many compliments, so much compliments from this dress, and I hope you go ahead and also try this out. So this is what we have for both sleeves. You go ahead and turn the top part and also turn the lower part, flip it to the right side, iron it out and attach it. Bye bye.